Woo! Hockey is back, baby. Welcome back, the NHL. The boys are indeed back. They are indeed back. Hockey is back. The NHL is back, and the Sharks return tomorrow night following a long, arduous offseason. What is up, everybody? My name is Isaiah Leong, and welcome in to a very special edition of the Midnight Express. You know, I'm amped up to do the show. I'm standing up, I'm pumped, I'm dancing, I'm ready to go, and so should you be. Happy opening night, guys. We are back indeed. This is a very special edition of the Midnight Express. This is our 2025 San Jose Sharks season preview show brought to you by yours truly here tonight. So we're going to talk about the offseason of the Sharks. We're going to talk about what I expect from the Sharks. We're going to preview the first game against the Vegas Golden Knights. So buckle up. It's going to be a wild show. Let's play that video one more time because it's such great vibes right now. Doesn't that get you amped up and ready and to go and fired up for the season, man? Boy, oh boy, does that get me amped up. But if you guys like what you guys are seeing, go ahead and like my channel, like this video. Go ahead and give my channel a subscribe. And yeah, enjoy the show. If you guys got any comments, go ahead and put it into the comment box, and then I'll read your comments live on the air. We got a comment already. My guy Chardot says, hi Isaiah, how are you doing tonight? I'm good, Chardot. Appreciate you for tuning into the show, man. Can't wait for the Sharks season opener tomorrow, as well as the 2025 season this year. Chardot also asked, how are you, Isaiah? I'm doing great, man. I'm doing great. I'm amped up, like you can tell, for the season, man. It's going to be a great year. A lot of exciting things that have happened, but let's get into it. The preview of the 2025 San Jose Sharks season. So let's get into like what happened? All right, so the Sharks the last couple of years they haven't been great, and that might be one of the biggest understatements of the year. They have been awful. Last year you saw some hope, right, with Macklin Celebrini and Will Smith having just tremendous rookie years. Macklin Celebrini finished third in the Calder Cup voting. I thought it was honestly quite um it was just an embarrassment for those hockey writers voting in terms of the Calder Cup. Like, really, you're gonna get a guy who was outscored by Macklin Celebrini by like not just like by a little, but by a lot. And he gets it because he had so much more assists. Like, you got to be kidding me! What a joke. Um, but you had their rookie years. They emerged, and here's the thing: hockey in the Bay Area and the Sharks franchise was dead in the water. They were going nowhere. And there wasn't any light at the end of the tunnel. But now it's different, right? There's hope. There's a bright, bright future ahead of us. Like, people are going back to games. I think last year I read somewhere that the Sharks had one of their highest or one of the highest attendance jumps that we've seen in hockey. And you can see the excitement. You can see people coming back. Like, you can see like people realizing, like, man, we got this young group that's just like, oh, born, ready to go. And so I think when you look at the Sharks, it's definitely so much better than it was a couple of years ago. Now, now we have a future. Hockey in the Bay Area is up on the upswing now. But last year, like, look, when you are developing this future, when you are developing this and trying to get these young players, right, to play at an exceptional level, there's going to be growing pains. That's how it works in every single sport. Hockey is no different. I was very impressed by how Macklin Celebrini came into the league and how he played, right? Because there's always going to be learning curves, there's going to be difficulties, and Celebrini definitely had his difficulties and learning curves, but he played great, and he definitely emerged as not only the franchise face of the Sharks, but he emerged as a guy that is, I believe, in my opinion, the next future face of hockey. And then you look at this offseason, right? So this offseason, the Sharks, they got Ryan Reaves in the offseason. Yaroslav Askarov is now going to be the goalie now. The other goalies are gone. They picked up Nedeljkovic from the formerly of the Pittsburgh Penguins. They have some Grizzly vets like Tyler Toffoli, Barclay Goodrow, amongst others. You know, Carey Price is not going to play for the team, but because he's injured, I think he's been retired a couple times already for a couple of seasons. But he's going to definitely, I think, have a good impact mentoring the guys. But how can we talk about the Sharks offseason and not talk about the biggest acquisition of the offseason? And that was getting the number 2 overall pick and drafting Michael Misa, the young center from the Saginaw Spirit. The Sharks drafted him with the number 2 overall pick. Look, this guy's like Macklin, just dynamic, great goal scorer. I watched him play at rookie development camp, and then I watched him play in the preseason. He's got really good IQ. He's got quick, lightning fast hands. I mean, this guy's going to be a superstar in this league if he stays healthy. But so now you got this young core, right? You got Smith, Will Smith, Macklin Celebrini, William Eklund, Michael Misa, Colin Graff, Luca Cagnoni, Sam Dickinson. He's made the club. And then you got these grizzled vets like Ryan Reaves, Tyler Toffoli, Nedeljkovic, the goalie, right, who's going to, I think, be a big help. Askarov, the young kid, as well. So it's a good mix of young talent, and it's a good mix of veteran talents as well. I am still kind of iffy about the head coach, Ryan Warsofsky. I like the guy. I think he's a really good person, but as a coach, I don't really know much. I don't really know if he's good for the Sharks right now. But I'll say this about the Sharks. I think the goal this year for 2025 should be we need to start winning some of these one goal games and start closing games out, because there were a lot of times last year where the Sharks had the lead, but then they blew it, or the Sharks would not be able to score that clutch goal to tie the game or go ahead and the other team would be able to do that. That's normal for a team that's a bunch of rookies, a bunch of young players, right? Like they need to learn how to win. And the Sharks, the Sharks like need to do that, right? Like I think I read a stat somewhere. The San Jose Sharks last year had 35 one goal losses. They had 35 one goal losses. It was one of the most in the NHL. That needs to change. And that needs to change because here's the thing. We won 20 games last season. Imagine if we had just won half. I'm not saying you win all of it, half or even 1/3 of the 35 one goal losses that you lost, or one goal games that you lost. We have a 500 record. If we won half of it, we'd be in the playoffs right now. Like this team is so talented. They just need to learn how to close games. And it started last year on opening night. You were up 4-0. You can't blow a 4-0 lead. You just cannot do that. But like the young team that the Sharks are, they have growing pains, and unfortunately they blew it because they couldn't close it out. Like that's the next step of the process of development, is closing games out. The defense, I think, will be a lot better now that you got a guy like Ryan Reeves. You got Sam Dickinson in the league now. Like the Sharks can score goals, right? They can score with guys like Celebrini and Smith, and now you add Misa into the equation, Eklund as well. It's about the defense. I think goalie-wise, I think we got a lot better with Yaroslav Askarov. He was really good in the small sample size that he put up last season. He's a first-round pick, so now is the time for him to show the potential. He kind of reminds me of Trey Lance, where like he's highly touted prospect, highly touted young player, but just hasn't gotten the opportunity. Well, now is your opportunity to shine, and he needs to shine. Nedeljkovic, look, he's one of the better veteran goalies in the National Hockey League. But I think right now for San Jose, like I'm very optimistic about this team. In fact, I'll tell you right now that I think that the San Jose Sharks, I could see playoffs. I really could. I think that this team is going to be in the hunt for a playoff spot. Like, is it that far-fetched to say that? Like, this team made the improvements on the defense. They have the offensive firepower. Yeah, the kids are young, but like I said, if they can just win half of the one-goal games, they're in the playoffs last year. So, like, it's not that far-fetched. So, I think that, look, we got to start winning. We got to start learning we got to start closing games out. That's what we got to do. We got to close games out and learn how to do that. And I think we will do a better job of that this year. The defense definitely has got to get better. And I think the power play, look, power plays are golden opportunities for you to score goals in hockey, and you got to take advantage of it. And I think that for me, like I want to see Ryan Rosofsky, our head coach, use, we got some really good scorers, right? We've got Tyler Toffoli, we've got William Eklund, we got Macklin Celebrini, Will Smith. Like I want to see a line of Smith, Eklund, and Misa together. Like, I think that would be one of the most deadliest trios out there on the power play unit. Like, why don't you do that? Like, Misa, we know he can score. We know how gifted he is with the puck. Like, we know William Eklund is a decorated goal scorer. We know that Will Smith, we know what he can do as well. Like if you put all your attention on one guy, you got two others that have the same capabilities. You put another attention on two other guys, you got another guy that can leak out and score. So I want to see that. We got the unit to be a good power play unit. We've got the firepower to be a good power play unit. I think that the defense is going to be much improved, but the biggest emphasis this year is closing games out. Do not give the team the opponent an opportunity to climb back into the game. We got to learn that, because that's how the Panthers do, the defending champs. They're defending champions because they close games. They close games at an exceptional level. So that's what the Sharks need to do. The Sharks need to learn to close games. The power play's got to get better. And I'm very optimistic. Look, I'm very optimistic. Our first goal this year should be let's have a 500 record. If we can have a 500 record, which will mean we accomplish the goal of closing games, right? Like I said, you win a third of the games, those one goal games that you lost, you got a 500 record. You win half of those one goal games that you lost, you're in the damn playoffs. So let's have a 500 record, and then we can celebrate. Then we can talk playoffs, right? But I expect this San Jose Sharks team to be in the hunt for the postseason. Not win the division, but be in the hunt. Because when you look at the Western Conference, I don't think the Western Conference is as deep as a lot of people say it is. I really don't think it is. But I think the Sharks are much improved. I am very excited for this team. Let's welcome one of my Sharks friends. We'll see him at the game tomorrow, but Chardot joins me now here. I don't know why we have Michael Misa in the background signing his entry-level contract. It was supposed to be posted on, but I don't know. But Chardot, welcome in to the Midnight Express. We're doing a little Sharks preview right now. The season gets going tomorrow night. How are you doing, my friend? And how do you think the Sharks are going to do this year?
Hey Isaiah, it's great coming on the show with you, man. I love going to Sharks games with you at the tank, man. It's fun, especially when you go with the big group. Bring a lot of people out there, make it a very memorable event. I'm excited for the Sharks, man. I mean, this team has potential. I'm excited for what they have to bring. They have Michael Misa, they have Will Smith, Macklin Celebrini, Tyler Toffoli, man. Like this team is going to do great things this upcoming season. I mean, like I have no doubts that this team will not make it to the Stanley Cup playoffs. But this is the most talented group of guys on this team. So many great players on this organization. I mean, this team is well
They're
built.
young. They're young, yes, they're young, but they're young. That's the only downside is they got some really talented players. Like I think right now, I liken the Sharks Chardot to the Oklahoma City Thunder, the team that just won the NBA championship before they won it. When they had all these young kids and stuff, like you could see the talent was there, but they were just young. Like I think that's how they are. But I think with the Sharks, like I said earlier, it's all about they got to close games. I went to so many games last year where the Sharks just blew it at the end. They just blew it. They were winning and they just blew it, and it pissed me the heck off. But yeah, like you said, the Sharks. I think we're gonna be a team that's gonna contend for the playoffs. I think that I don't know if we're gonna make the playoffs, but if we can get maybe like not a losing record, I think that would be a great start.
I mean, like for me, I like this team, but the San Jose Sharks are my favorite hockey team, first of all. But I have to say, this team is off and on sometimes. I don't want to say that. I don't want to be that Debbie Downer type of guy who's saying that about my team. But sometimes they win games and then they lose games and then they win games and they lose games. It's like back and forth for this team. What are your thoughts? Like, do you agree that the Sharks are off and on sometimes?
I think they are, but I think that like last year, I think their biggest issue was that they didn't know how to learn. They didn't know how to close games out. Like there was so many games last year where I went to where they had the lead or they were tied going in the third period and they just blew it. Like they blew so many games last year late in the third period that that it was just so frustrating to watch. Like I will never forget opening night last year. They were up 4-1 or 4-0. They had a 4-goal lead in the game. You cannot blow a 4-goal lead in hockey. You just absolutely cannot do that. Blowing a 4-goal lead in hockey is like an NBA team blowing a 30-point lead. You just cannot do that. Like you got to learn how to close games out. And I think that look, this team is I think better on defense. I think they're better when it comes to scoring with Celebrini and Misa and Will Smith and those guys. Goalie was a big concern last year, but I think Askarov will do a better job of it. But I think that like for the Sharks, like I said, like the defense has to be better. The goalie has to be better because we gave up so many goals late in the game. Like we got to stop doing that if we want to make the playoffs.
But but another thing I like to say about the Sharks is that they can't blow leads, because this is the problem that I have with this team that really gets under my skin. You can't have a 4-0 lead and then you choke a 4-0 lead and you lose. Like that is not that is unacceptable. You can't let that happen. I know this team is young. This some of the players need to get accustomed to playing on this team, getting used to playing with the other guys. But you can't give up a big lead. You can't. You have to hold on to the lead. It's not. It's unacceptable. It's absolutely unacceptable. It can't happen. I'm a big
Well,
Sharks
I
fan and I
agree.
love my team, and it's unacceptable. It cannot happen. I will not take this BS any longer. Sharks need to be out there and focus on the game in front of you. Don't be lost out there. That's the problem with this team. They're lost. They don't focus. The other team scores a goal. They're completely befuddled, lost out there. I don't appreciate that. And if that happens in the home opener, I might end up making a rant stream. I might end up doing it.
Well, Chardot, let me ask you this. Like Michael Misa and Sam Dickinson are two youngsters. Misa, number two overall pick in last year's draft. Sam Dickinson was the number 11 overall pick, I believe, in the 2024 NHL draft. I was actually there when he got drafted along with Macklin Celebrini. But what do you think about them making the opening day roster?
I mean, when I heard about them making the opening night roster, I mean, I was like elated, because I was very excited for those two players to make the roster. Michael Misa making the opening night roster. I mean, I really wanted to see him on the roster because we just signed him in the draft, and I want to see how well he's going to perform in the upcoming season against Vegas.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think it's a good decision because I always keep saying this. Play your young kids. Like, why? Like, I understand, like, you want to put them in the minor leagues to develop and stuff, but Michael Misa is ready for the pros. I can promise you that. I watched him in rookie development camp. He was really good. I watched him in preseason. The guy held his own. He's really crafty with the puck. But like I said, there's going to be growing pains. Sam Dickinson, look, he's already done so much in the minor leagues that I don't think that it's useful for him to be down there. I think he needs to be up here in the big leagues to try to see what he could do. But yeah, like
I mean,
I
so
think that
for me, I played NHL 26, the video game, the hockey video game, and I created my own player because there's this feature in the game where you can like create your own superstar, and you can make him go through and live the career of a Sharks player. And my player kept getting moved to the AHL for some reason. Like I kept getting demoted to the AHL because the coach didn't believe that I have good skills to be on the team, and I kept getting I kept getting demoted to the AHL, the minor hockey league team, the Barracuda. I do not like it when, I mean, a player doesn't like it when he gets demoted. Like, what's the feeling of a player when he gets demoted from the Sharks to play for the AHL team?
I mean, it's kind of disappointing because you all want to be in the big leagues, but sometimes like Colin Graff, for example, like Colin Graff got demoted last year, but it was to work on his skill, and he actually came back better. I felt like, like he, was like he really did well as a puck scorer, and he did really good as a guy that was able to kill power play. So, yeah, I mean, sometimes like
I mean, would
you
you
just
say
get
it's
certain.
like, would you say it's kind of like, would you say it's heartbreaking for a player to get demoted to the AHL? Would you say that's a little bit too much of
Yeah,
a strong word?
well, I think it's sometimes it's like that, but I also think that sometimes it's good because like the players can work on their game. Um, but I think in Dickinson's case, I don't think he has anything to prove left in the minors. But
I mean, like on the Sharks, do you think Michael Misa, if he doesn't play well in the upcoming season, do you think he has a potential chance of getting demoted to the AHL if he doesn't play well?
I'm
If he
glad
doesn't perform well, do you think he might get demoted to the Barracuda?
I'm glad you brought that up, and I'll tell you why. Because I need to talk some sense into Ryan Warsofsky. Because I just heard today that Michael Misa wasn't on the first line wasn't on the second line, wasn't even on the third line, and potentially making him not playing on opening night. Let me tell you this right now, Coach Warsofsky, get your get your pen and your paper ready. Put Michael Misa on the opening day lineup. Why are you gonna sit him out opening night? Like, I understand, like, Vegas is a physical team, they're a big team, and you want to protect him. But throw the kid into the fire. Let him see what he can do, even for like limited time. Throw him into the fire, okay? Like, let's see what he can do. It's so stupid that you're gonna roll
So
with these veterans.
so when
Like,
you look at the Sharks head coach Ryan Warsofsky, he's kind of like Kyle Shanahan on the on like Steve Kerr on the Warriors, because he benches, like, if there's a good player, he benches the player, he puts him on the bench and says that I don't want to start this player. Like, you have to start like your best players and put them out there. You can't bench your best players and sit them down. How are they going to improve and develop if you put them on the bench? That's what I think Ryan Warsofsky's like, kind of like.
well, and also here's the thing. Against Vegas, Vegas is a really good offensive team. You need more offensive firepower to beat this team. So, like, I don't understand why they're gonna sit Misa. It makes no sense. Like, yeah, you want defense, obviously, but we need more offense. Like, to Foley, we have Macklin, we have Will Smith, we have all those guys. Why not add another goal scorer into the mix and Michael Misa?
Like, head coach, I agree with the head coach Ryan Warsofsky to sit down Michael Misa, because he's a young player. He just got drafted. If he gets injured halfway through the season, he'll be out for the remainder of the season. If he gets injured, he's a young player, only 18 years old. He's only 18. He's a young kid. I mean, like, if he gets injured in the season, he's gonna be out for the rest of the season. So you have to be careful with your young players.
Yeah, but here's the problem though. Like, we're not worried about the rest of the season. Like, let the kid play. Like, let the kid play.
No,
See
but
what he
Michael
can
Misa's
do.
he's a young player. He just got
I
signed
know.
in the draft. I mean, if he gets injured or something happens to him, and then that's gonna be heartbreaking, because he's a kid. He's 18 years old.
Yeah,
He
but
needs
dude,
to
if you sit
develop.
it, if you're worried about him getting hurt, he will never be on the ice. That's the thing. Like,
No, but
he will.
but I'm not saying that. But I'm saying that, that's why if you have your young players, you want to save them, because if something happens to your young players, they're young. He hasn't been playing in the league that long. Tyler Toffoli, all these other, Macklin. He's been playing in a while, so for you need to let your young players rest and then wait for them when they're ready to start.
I
And
mean, we'll see,
you can
but
call me crazy for that. You can call me
I don't
crazy for
agree
that.
with you on that. I think he should play, and I don't like the decision by Warsofsky to potentially sit him out. I think like if he struggles, right, you're gonna have to send him back to the minors, but at least let him show that he's worth it to keep in the to keep it in the big league. So I I hope we see Misa. I hope it's like that what the practice lines were wrong, but I mean, speaking of the game against Vegas, let's get into it. Let's preview it right now. Sharks, Golden Knights tomorrow night at the Shark Tank. I'm going to be there. Chardol's going to be there. It's going to be a great game at the Shark Tank. There's
So
going to be a bobblehead giveaway too.
Isaiah's gonna be there. Tejas is gonna be there. I'm gonna be there. Andy's gonna be there. Unfortunately, Shriram is not gonna be there because he has college. He has studies to things to take care of. So he won't be at the game. But it's gonna be. I mean, it's gonna be the four of us. I mean, I mean, we're gonna have fun. Me, you, Tejas, Andy, and I. We're gonna have fun. Even if Sherm doesn't come, it's still gonna be the four of us, and we're still gonna have an amazing time at the game, because we always do.
Yeah, but let's get into the game, shall we? Sharks go Knights tomorrow night at the Shark Tank. They're also giving away a bobblehead, by the way, which is very freaking cool. But Um, so look, you got the young Sharks, the young kids versus Vegas, who just signed Jack Eichel to a big 8-year extension. They've won a cup already. They're a team that is, established. Chardol, give me your preview of the game and who do you think is gonna win?
I'm going with the Sharks getting the win over the Vegas Golden Knights.
What do you think the Sharks have to do to beat Vegas? Because Vegas is a really good team. Let's get that. They're a very good team, very well
And I
coached.
and I'm going with the San Jose Sharks getting the 5-4 win over the Vegas Golden Knights in overtime.
I think this is what the Sharks got to do to win. They got to score early. They got to get off to a good start because if you get it behind against Vegas, that's going to be a big problem because Vegas is very good on defense. They got to get off to a good start, right? They got to match Vegas's physicality because Vegas is going to hit people against the boards, right? They're going to do that. So they got to match that. They can't be soft. And I think that you got to the power play units with Celebrini and Smith and Eklund, they gotta be explosive tomorrow because you gotta cash in on those power plays against Vegas, a very good team
So
like
when you
them.
look at when you look at the San Jose Sharks, when they play against
Oh shit. But no, so I think when I look at this game, I think that the Sharks as I think we lost Chardot, but the thing with the Sharks is that the San Jose Sharks, they got to get off to a good start. They got to be physical. They got to match Vegas's physicality. And I think that they need to, they got to cash in on those power plays. Macklin's got to have a really good game. I want to see Reeves hit people. I want to see, Toffoli and others have some really good, strong games because that Vegas defense is very stingy. So you got to be able to exploit it and try to exploit it like that. But I think we can. I'm going to actually go with the Sharks as well. I'm going to go with, unfortunately we lost Chardot. I don't know where he is, but we got to exploit it. I think we're going to pull off the upset. I think that, look, this team was close last year in a lot of games, and I think they're going to get it done. I really do. I'm going to go with the Sharks winning the game. I'm going to say 3-2. I think it's going to be a really awesome game. It's going to be fun. The Shark Tank is going to be electric. It's going to be fun. It's going to be awesome. I've always wanted to see Vegas. I've always wanted to see, Vegas versus the Sharks. That's such an amazing rivalry. But yeah, it's gonna be awesome. I cannot wait for that game. I'm gonna be there. Chardot is gonna be there. And we're gonna have a lot of fun. It's gonna be great. Cannot wait. Chardot is back. Great. Chardot, do I have you?
Yeah, you have me.
But yeah, so that's who I'm going with.
So the San Jose Sharks have to start off on a hot start in the first period. I mean, if the San Jose Sharks start off on a hot start, that's the way they're gonna win this game. Like they have to they have to gain momentum during the game. They can't be they can't
They
be
got to match
intimidated.
Vegas' physicality. That's what they got to do because Vegas is going to hit people. Vegas is going to slam people on the boards. They got to hit back. That's what the Sharks got to do as well.
Yeah, they have to have a lot of momentum in the game, because if they don't have any momentum in the whole game, they're not gonna win. I mean, that's just an easy way of putting it in simple words.
Right. So, I'm gonna go with San Jose. I think they pull off the upset. Let's talk about one last thing before we close out this special preview show of the season, and that is, I don't know if you heard this today, Chardot, but the Sharks have named captains, and Macklin Celebrini, our guy, is an alternate captain for the Sharks. What is your thoughts on these captains that the Sharks have named? I think Toffoli is one of them. I don't remember the others, but five alternate captains this season.
So I'm really excited for these five alternate captains. I mean, well deserved. They really deserve to get this honor. Macklin Celebrini, such a great hockey player. I mean, like, he deserves to be one of the five alternate captains. I mean, what are your thoughts on all these five alternate captains that were selected? Are you pretty excited as a diehard Sharks fan, as well as I am, as well as Tejas? How excited are you for this honor, that all these five players are receiving?
Yeah, I think it's a great group. Toffoli definitely deserved to be one of them. I'll say this. I'm not surprised that Macklin is one of the captains because Macklin is the face of our franchise. Macklin is, like he's what you want in a superstar. He's very competitive.
Uh,
He's so competitive. He is just, tremendous, like very humble. He's very gifted on the ice. He's very skilled. And
Isaiah, so the
he
five
doesn't like losing. So I really like this. I like Celebrini being like a captain. He should have been our regular, our only. He honestly should have been our captain. But like I said, like he's already a face of a franchise,
so
and he's like
uh
Baby Yoda, basically. Like Baby
Isaiah,
Yoda
so the
growing up.
five
Yeah.
so the
Hold
five
on, hold on. Let
alternate
me
captains.
finish my point. Let me finish my point. So, he's like Baby Yoda, where you already know he's gonna be the crown prince one day. It's just taking the little steps to get to that level, and this is the first step. So I'm proud of Macklin for being an alternate captain. I think he's gonna do really well, and he's already proving. I mean, this guy's like in his second year. He's like what 20 something? No, he's only 19, and he's already like a leader. So the future is definitely very teal for sure. Go ahead, Chardo. You're muted.
So the five captains for the Sharks for the 2025 to 26 season are Tyler Toffoli, Macklin Celebrini, Barclay Goodrow, Mario Ferraro, and Alexander Wenberg. Tyler Toffoli will wear the A for all games, while Macklin Celebrini and Barclay Goodrow will serve as alternates for home games, and Mario Ferraro and Alexander Wenberg will be alternates for road games.
Yeah, that's good. Goodrow, Wenberg, Toffoli. I'm missing one more. Because I know Macklin's in the list. Who's that other captain that you named? It was Goodrow, Toffoli,
Mario Ferraro.
Macklin.
Mario
Oh, Ferrari.
Ferraro.
Yeah, those guys besides Macklin are veterans. So yeah, I like it. I think it's good. But Macklin being a captain, I mean, he should have like the guy. The guy is our face of our franchise. So, I mean, he definitely well deserved. I like the picks, and yeah, those veterans are going to bring some really good leadership for sure. And I can't wait to watch this team this season.
Yeah, but the San Jose Sharks are gonna they're gonna bring a lot of fire and intensity to this matchup between Vegas. It's a rivalry. Both of these teams don't like each other. Sharks don't like Vegas. Vegas doesn't like San Jose. It's gonna be heated matchup. I bet. I don't I won't expect that there'll be any fights, but I've seen a lot of rivalry games that there's a lot of fights breaking out in the stands because Vegas fans don't Sharks fans are gonna get a little heated over Vegas fans and there's gonna be fights breaking out. But hopefully that doesn't happen because then security will have to be involved and we don't wanna see that.
Yeah. No one wants to see that. But
But I've
yeah,
seen but when I go to games like when the Raiders play the Niners or the Rams play the Niners, I've seen a lot of times when fights break out in the stands because if it's a rivalry, they Vegas fans are gonna stand up for their team, and Sharks fans are gonna stand up for their team as well. Because they're like very passionate. Both teams are very passionate. The Golden Knight fans are very passionate, and the San Jose Shark fans are also super passionate. They believe in their team, so you
definitely.
know.
Well, Chardot, here we go. Happy opening night.
I can't wait to see. I can't. It's gonna be fun. Tejas, me. Tejas, me. You and Andy. It's gonna be all four of us. I mean, it's gonna be fun, man. I mean, like, It's gonna be a great time at the tank tomorrow, man. First game of the 2025-2026 season, Vegas Golden Knights at San Jose Sharks at the Shark Tank at S&P Center. It's gonna be amazing. I mean, like, every time I go, even every time I go with even though I go with you, even though you two of us go to the game together, or it's four of us, or it's a group of four that go, it's always fun, man. It matters about being there and celebrating and enjoying a Sharks win. That's all that it really matters.
Yep, I agree. Like the Sharks have definitely look, the A's left the Bay Area. So you know what replaced them? Sharks games. That's why a lot of people are now flocking back to the tank for Sharks games. And yeah, it's gonna be exciting. I can't wait. This
So I'm gonna
season.
So I'm
Yeah.
gonna tomorrow I'm gonna Andy's gonna pick me up from my house at 3, and I'll meet you there at 3 3:15 3:30. We'll take in the pregame festivities, all the autograph signings, the teal carpet, all the fun stuff that takes place before the actual game, and I'll see you, and then we'll go in the arena, maybe get some food, get our settle, find our seats, get everything settled. But yeah, I can't wait. That hockey's finally back. The preseason is over. Um, and I can't wait to go to the game tomorrow, man. It's gonna be a fun time. Going to the home opener, going with you and three of my best friends going to the together. That's gonna be fun. But I'm really looking forward to it. Going to the game tomorrow. And what are
Oh God. Oh shit. Oh God.
Hey, new theory, Mr. Wannabe Hockey Guy.
Oh
Don't put the
God.
StreamYard link in the public commentary. How about that next time? You ever think about that?
I foolish mistake on my part. I'm sorry.
You really think, Mr. Asian Skip Bayless, that a guy that you clown, who has been to 730 hockey games, who works in the American Hockey League, who's gone to over 60 NHL games, would not come onto your hockey show?
Well, I mean, isn't this a milestone season for you this year?
Just because I did 11 hours on a former network that you were a part of until you shot yourself in the foot does not mean I would not come on here to troll you.
What season is this for you?
For what?
For your no, for you working in the AHL. Isn't this like one of your milestone seasons?
This is
I
year
remember
20. This is year 25 in the game as a fan and as an announcer, and year
There
10
you
in
go.
the American Hockey League, and year 17 announcing the sport.
Well, there you go. Toast
So
to you,
once
Cal.
again, sir, please listen to your boy very nice, loud, and clear.
All right.
730 plus games in the sport. 25 years being around it, 10 years in the American Hockey League, 17 plus working in the game. Please explain to me, sir, how your 15 games is more than 730.
Well,
because frankly, sir, I'm getting sick and tired of the crap in group chats about how you're so great and I'm not.
well, Callan, I want to ask you, since you're on here, you're an outsider, or me and Chardot, who we lost, are the Sharks fans. Give us, what are the outsiders saying about San Jose right now?
They could be great, but they're going to be 32nd in the league again. It's either them or Chicago. I mean, every expert that I've seen, it's going to be either the Blackhawks or San Jose at the bottom. And like Isaiah, I've told you, this is going to take time for them to get out of the rebuild. And like I've tried to explain to you, Carey Price and Ryan Ellis is cool. They're on long-term IR. They're on the verge of retiring, and all the Sharks did is get dead money. And if how this plays out, and how I think this might play out is it's dead money. They're going to sell off more contracts and maybe sell off expiring contracts if the season goes sideways, which, with any rebuilding team, it's going to take forever to get out of the rebuild.
Yeah, Callan, I think for me, like my expectation for this team, and I said this tonight, is
shut up. You said that the expectations were to make the postseason this year.
Well, they lost last year 35 one-goal games. And but the thing with a rebuilding team, like they're young, they need to learn how to win, obviously. So I think for me, the goal is to try to cut that in half. If you can maybe win maybe a third of it, right? Like learn how to close games out. I think that's how, that's the first step in building a championship foundation. And I know Sharks and championships don't mix. But But since you're on a Sharks preview show, I mean, give us like a preview of our like the season for the Sharks, like an outsider preview of it. Like, what do you hope the Sharks do? What do you? I mean, you're a Ducks fan, but what should San Jose fans be hoping and trying to see this season from the team as we navigate through the 2025 waters?
As much as I control this guy, I'll actually give you some actual hockey insight because I've been around the game for way longer than Isaiah. I mean, look, the projections may say it's like 8th in the division, 15th in the West, or 16th in the West, and then, bottom of the league. I mean, there's one word, and I've told this to Isaiah, though, several times. The word is patience. You cannot rush a rebuild. I mean, if anything that Anaheim and San Jose has had in common, it's been a long rebuild after a long run of success. And this happens with any sport, any team, any league, stuff of that caliber as the season starts for the Sharks over the course of the weekend, and whatnot. And right now, Puckpedia actually has the Sharks right now projected to be over the cap right now by $2 million because of what they've done recently with it. Look, like I said, in a way, is that, I mean, if they win maybe 25 games, maybe if they can get close to 30, that might be a successful season. They might be pushing it, though. But again, you really can't rush the rebuild, and you can't expect all the kids to come up and do well. Now, what I will say, though, and this is, not really fearful, but something I have seen, though, before, and trying to explain it to your host here on the left is always impossible to do so. But the thing, though, that does concern me a little bit is obviously Michael Misa made the roster. Same with Beckett Seneca and Anaheim. The only thing that does kind of scare me a bit about both these guys, frankly, is the 9-game minimum. If they go beyond 10 games, they lose the year off the entry-level contract, and they would burn one of the 3 years, where if they ship them out of town by game 9 before game 10, they still keep that third year. It's almost like Chris Bryant in baseball in a very weird way for service time manipulation, as they always want to call it. Though I've heard some rumblings that Seneca might be up all year in Anaheim. We'll see how that goes. But, I mean, if you're Mike Grier, I think you at least give him a chance to get his feet wet, but you probably want to keep the full 3 years where it would not kick until the year prior or next year after. So that's one thing. Celebrini's going to be fine. Smith will be fine. All the young kids are going to be fine. It's just a matter, though, is there enough veteran presence around young kids? And that's kind of been a lot of a thing, though, that has killed Chicago, for example, that you've got Bedard. Who else is around him? We saw that firsthand when they played Florida. At least I didn't know about, this bum in Square One who's hosting this program. I actually sat and watched all 3 games yesterday, unlike him, where you've got Bedard. There's no one around him. At least in Anaheim and San Jose, they have a vision to get these young kids to play, at their full potential. But, just kind of looking through Puckpedia again for, I don't even know how they even all of a sudden are now in the negative when it comes to being over or projected cap space by $2 million, unless there's something going on with injury, it looks like, per the website. But again, like I said, though, and like I try to tell Isaiah, yeah, you have Carey Price, and yeah, you've got Ryan Ellis. The problem, gang, this is all dead money that they can trade off at the trade deadline. So I don't quite understand why they would do that, giving up some young talent in the pool that they already have. I expect both, Anaheim and San Jose's minor league clubs to be really good with the young talent that's already, up here. But, I mean, right now, we know about Logan Couture. He's still got 2 more years on the contract for $8 million. He's on IR. They've already got a young kid on IR, too, who's could be a UFA next season. Again, Ellis is on long-term IR. Carey Price is on IR long-term. He's probably going to be retiring once the money comes off. And also, I think, sadly, Isaiah, more importantly, San Jose is still on the hook for 8 other contracts, not even on the roster. You're talking about Vlasic, Martin Jones, Jack Thompson, Lucas Carlson, who are on season opening IR. You still, though, are retaining salary, too, with Erik Karlsson and Tomas Hertl, and they're stuck on that Hertl contract, Isaiah, until 2029, 2030, on top of the IR dead money and then the buyout and cap charges of 6 players being there. So in a way, they're a little bit salary cap hill, as Isaiah knows that term very well of what I've said. But again, this is going to be a little bit of a slow process. And again, give Mike Grier time, give the kids time to grow. Maybe here with the coaching staff in place that, Warsofsky can get these guys to probably believe in each other again. I mean, I don't really know, other than playing Anaheim to start the season, like who really stacks up to start their season. I think they have the Knights actually to start the season.
The night Vegas, yeah. Vegas starts
for like the 5th time already that they're playing them. So they got Vegas, they got Anaheim, and then they got Carolina. So, I mean, out of the gate, they're getting 2 really tough teams. Now, yeah, Vegas lost in a shootout tonight. We know that they're a team like the Dodgers who want to worry about the playoffs more than the regular season. And then, Anaheim has had their number the past couple seasons, including last year and then in the preseason. Carolina might be a favorite in the Eastern Conference right now. So, like I said, patience is all I ask. From an outside perspective, I mean, the record may improve a little bit, though. Yeah, there's a few enticing names there, but, I mean, just in full honesty, yes, be excited about what you're building, but let's not rush the process. Let's not go and tear down the house after game 1 or game 5 or game 10, because all these kids are going to need time to gel and get used to playing with each other. And obviously, again, I've seen it firsthand in Anaheim, for example, with what they've done. Obviously, trading Drysdale, trading Trevor Zegras, like that was obviously huge news, though, and what they've gotten in return, though. Do I think, though, that at least from my perspective of the Joe Quenneville hiring helping out? Absolutely. Multiple-time Cup champion, a guy who's no nonsense. Yes, he made mistakes, though, when he was in Chicago, and he paid, dearly for those mistakes. But again, let's not rush what the Sharks are trying to build. Now, it's good. Again, a lot of the experts have them 8th in the division or last in the conference and in the league. I mean, if I need to be very frank again, I think it's going to be the Sharks and probably Chicago, bottom 2 of the conference. That's not even just like fan bias. It's just where both teams are at right now. I think between those 2 teams, though, San Jose is here, Chicago's is down here because, again, Bedard and nobodies, young core, promising future San Jose, they're going this way. Chicago's going this way. And that's kind of just how I view it right now.
So I shouldn't be saying fire Rosofsky after game 1 like I did last year, Callan.
Do I have to remind you about Natalie Nakase with the Valkyries on a certain platform?
But no, I think
from you wanting her fired to coach of the year. How dare you?
Yeah, you're right. I was wrong about that. Just like I was wrong about a lot of my MLB predictions, which we're not going to get into it. But the Yankees, yikes. But no, like Callan, I think to your point, I mean, that's why I was kind of already. I mean, the whole Michael Misa 9 games, and probably sending him down. I mean, I think it's going to happen because I think that Warsofsky already made it kind of crystal clear that that's what's going to happen when he's going to be a healthy scratch for game 1. I mean, he was not on any of the lines for the practice before the opener. So read between the tea leaves there. There's no way he's not playing opening night. He's going to probably be a healthy scratch. They're playing Ryan Reeves over him. That's the big uproar right now in San Jose.
I already had seen that, but you know what though? I see what they're doing. Because you need a guy like Reeves, who's a known goon and enforcer and bopper, to go and hit people to keep the kids safe. I always think back, and you won't know this, but I will know this, when Paul Correa came up with the Mighty Ducks of Anaheim 32 years ago when he got drafted. He played one whole period, though, with 2 of the most physically intimidating enforcers in the game, in Robin Bawa and a guy named Stu the Grim Reaper Grimson, who would go out there and beat the tar out of people. And Paul felt as safe as he could be. You need a guy like that, though. And that is one thing I will give Chicago credit for. They do have Ryan Foligno, I believe, or Marcus Foligno, who will go out there and beat the crap out of somebody to keep Connor Bedard safe. Now, they had that in a way, though, with both Foligno and it for a bit there, Corey Perry, before he left because of unknown reasons off the ice. But if Reeves plays over a kid like Misa, the long guy in the tooth with hockey here, not the guy hosting the show would know. You need to have a guy like that to keep the kids safe, like Smith and Celebrini, because you know very well anybody on Vegas who's a known, thug on the ice in a way is going to go after them to try to take them out of the game. And you're going to need a guy to keep and police them, police the game for those kids out there. And that part I totally understand.
So, Callan, I asked Chardot this earlier. What do you think about the Sharks captains? Because there were 5, I think, that was announced. If I could pull up the graphic right there.
Yeah,
Macklin
This is commonplace when a team doesn't want to name a captain. It's a thing that's usually earned in the season or after the year concludes. Again, using my own perspective, but the Ducks did this after Ryan Getzlaf retired. They would rotate alternate captains. I think they only did 3 for the first couple years. It would go from Cam Fowler to Adam Henrique, and I forget who the other one was. And then eventually they landed on Radko Gudas to become their team captain with, I think, Alex Killorn and Cam Fowler last year opening up as alternate captains. Then they would, kind of rotate alternate captains. So, I mean, this is really nothing new when teams do this, because they in a way, it's the whole, what I told Isaiah today, it's the whole team over me philosophy that the sport gives, and way more than any other sport out there, where you hear these guys in interviews, as I have for 25 years, for heaven's sakes, unlike the guy in Square One, where they are all about the me, the we part of the team aspect. You hear it all the time that guys never use I or me when they give their post-game or pre-game interviews. So I think this is a good starting point in a way to, you got to earn the right to become team captain. Now, that would probably, in my mind, out of the 5, go to Barclay Goodrow, who's been a loyal sword, has been a, he was a Sharks prospect. I saw him play here 10 years ago in San Diego and saw him kind of go up through the ranks of the system with San Jose. Giving the captaincy, though, to like Macklin very early in his career is not really commonplace. Bedard was a shoo-in, though, in Chicago, which is not much of a surprise. But I think, though, eventually that they'll pick their guy, but it's going to be probably done with due process, and maybe not till next year when they probably have a team vote after the year concludes. And I'm all for the practice, though. But again, it emphasizes the we over me that this game provides for 82 games out of the year.
Yeah, like I think that, like I said, I think with Macklin being one of the alternates, I mean, it's good for him because, like, I don't know if you caught this, Callan, but I'll say this, like, I think the thing with Celebrini and Bedard that makes them like really great franchise players is not only are they skilled, but they're competitive as hell, and you want to see that.
Even though you had the gall to trash Bedard and Seneca in the same breath several times last season.
But we're not going to go into that because I did say something else.
Because I hope you know that Seneca had to turn 19 to make the NHL roster, right? He was not 19 yet.
I'm getting so screwed right now.
And he still put up 60 points in junior hockey after breaking his foot in a weightlifting accident too in the offseason last year.
Oh yeah, that was last year. Yeah, I remember reading about it.
So don't be trying to deflect about Bedard being great when you've trashed him multiple times on your page and in group chats.
He's good, but I would rather have Celebrini over him. Like, I think he's good, but I think sadly he might have to go elsewhere. Honestly, at this point, because
if the roles were reversed, though, you would be praising Bedard because of what San Jose would have around him, unlike right now in Chicago.
But see, that's the other problem. I don't trust Chicago's management, though, to get it right. And that's the issue. Like, how many general managers have they ran through? Haven't they ran through a lot of coaches? And it seems like coaches and GMs, right?
They had to, because their coach, who's now in Anaheim, was accused of sexual assault in 2010.
Well, Callan, since you gave your great little soliloquy about the Sharks, since this is like it was supposed to be a Sharks preview show, but I guess this is like a quote-unquote hockey preview show. Give us a little preview about the Ducks. Like, what do you expect this season? Maybe a record prediction. What do you want to see? I know Beckett Seneca made the team after I trashed him on a preseason game last week.
Which he also scored in when Anaheim beat you 5-2. First goal of the game.
Yeah, I was at the game. I missed the goal by the way because I was late. But yeah, what are you expecting from the Ducks? I know last year you guys made some really good strides last season, missed the playoffs barely, I believe. But yeah, what are you hired Joe Queenville? What is your expectation for the Ducks this season as we begin 2025?
I'm not going to go too far into the weeds, but with what they've done though over the offseason with retooling, they might be the sneakiest team right now in the Western Conference. A lot of people have them like third wild card or second wild card, maybe just missing out again, but they're right there. With what they did though in regards to free agency with Michael Granlund, who was a Shark last season. Funny how that works when he goes from San Jose to going to Dallas, now going to Anaheim. But he got signed for 7 years. They also again re-signed Mason McTavish and also re-up Jackson Lacombe. Yeah, they made the trade of Trevor Zegras to Philadelphia for Ryan Poehling. They also traded John Gibson to Detroit for Peter Mrazek. On top of them still retaining Cam Fowler's contract for $2.5 million for 1 more year. The young core is still there. Pat Verbeek went on and got Chris Kreider too from the Rangers over the offseason as well. So that adds another 30-goal scorer right there. Like I said, I'm not going to go too far in the weeds, but I'm looking wild card. That's where I think they're at. Building off last season, it's wild card. That's where I think they're at.
Okay, I think that's fair. I mean, I think I had San Jose.
You had them in the playoffs. Don't even try to deviate.
You caught the beginning of the show?
You don't think I read the group text too when it comes in about you talking hockey, sir?
I had them at like
with Michael Misa making the roster. I expect a playoff berth in 2025-26.
I said they could contend for the playoffs. I think they can contend for one of the final playoffs.
The exact words were, with Misa on the roster, I expect playoffs. And also, sir, it's not. And also, sir, it's not Shakir Mussolini either.
No comment on that. No comment. Damn you, voice to text.
His,
but yeah,
his name is Shakir Mukhamadullin.
Shakir Mukhamadullin. I got it on the first try. Let's go.
Signed by a guy who's had to announce his name in San Diego.
All right. Yeah, that's gonna do it for us tonight here on this what has turned into a hockey preview show. Callan, you want to give a prediction for Sharks Golden Knights tomorrow night?
I mean, Vegas will come in on a back-to-back after losing to LA in a shootout. Too much firepower. I think Vegas is going to win, not because of my disdain for the Sharks, but on veteran-led team that's already over the cap by like $8 million against an up-and-coming contender eventually in San Jose.
I do think it could be closer than a lot of people think, though, because like the fatigue factor, Vegas already played a game. I know they lost, but they had to use a lot of bodies in that game. So could be interesting.
Isaiah, you have to use a lot of bodies in every game. This isn't baseball where you can trot out a new pitcher every inning or two.
I know. But I'm going to be at that game.
It takes all 23 men on the roster, sir.
But yeah, I'm going to be at the game. Year 2 for your boy. It's going to be great. Season opener number 2. So can't wait for that.
Season 25 since first grade.
Congratulations, though. That's a milestone. That's a milestone for you. Bravo.
25 is greater than 2. 730 is greater than 15. 17 is greater than 2.
Are you going to the Duck season opener, by the way?
I plan on being there, yes.
By the way, question. Are they giving away a giveaway? Because I know the Sharks are giving away like the bobblehead for Celebrini and Smith.
Yes, it'll be this bad boy right here next Tuesday.
Ooh, okay.
Not autograph, because this is from 2018 when they turned 25.
Dude, when is your guys' home opener, by the way? Because I know you guys do you guys open at home and then you guys play us down here afterwards?
No, we're in Seattle tomorrow. Then we play you guys, and then we play Pittsburgh and Carolina for our first 2 home games of the month. Then we're away from home till Halloween.
Oh wow, Sidney Crosby's coming over. That's going to be great.
We're getting our first East Coast trip out of the way in October, which is good.
I think the Penguin. Oh no, the Penguins come here in the middle of October. But yeah, it's been a great show, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in. Hockey is back, so let's go. So I'm ecstatic. I know Callan is super ecstatic. I promise not to troll him too much this hockey season. We'll see if we can keep that promise up. But Callan, any final thoughts?
If not, you know what's coming.
Any final thoughts before we close out for the night? And don't bring up baseball because it's not a baseball show. Nobody needs to talk about those damn Yankees.
Start spreading the news. I'm leaving today. New York. New York. Now, next time, don't drop the StreamYard link out to the general public where people could come in and troll you.
Yeah, I when I pressed the send button, I was like, oh crap. I know. And the thing with StreamYard is you can't even delete the comments afterwards. So I was like, oh shoot. But that's how you got it.
Use this next time, not your behind.
Anyways, guys, it's been a fun show. Thank you so much for tuning in and enjoy opening night 2025. We start tomorrow. And yeah, welcome back, hockey. Welcome back.
Stop calling me.